lines ay magiging zero ang tariff protection sa ilalim ng RCEP. Kasi sa pagkaintindi ko ay only 33 tariff lines are included. I don't know, is at 84%? Hindi po natin maintindihan. Paki-clarify po.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just to reply to the submission of Mr. Montemayor, as mentioned earlier, our market is already open and substantially our trade has been liberalized. So in other words, yung bagong RCEP. So trade in agricultural products and industrial goods have been ongoing for years already. In fact, just to set on record, as early as 2005, we have already an ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement. Mula pa yung 2005. At halos 84.8% ng tariff natin na liberalize sa ASEAN-China. 2007, mayroon tayong ASEAN-Korea FTA. Na-liberalize natin ang tariff natin to around 87.7%. 2008, nagkaroon tayo ng ASEAN-Japan Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. 92.4% of our tariff has been liberalized. At 2010, meron tayong ASEAN, Australia, New Zealand FTA, 94.7 ang tariff natin liberalized. In other words, open na po yan. Ngayon, tama po si Mr. Montemayor na dito po sa RCEP, basically, yung mga partners natin, sila rin yung mga ASEAN plus 1 partners natin. Sila Australia, New Zealand, China, Japan, and South Korea. So technically, open yung market. Ngayon, kami po sa negotiation, very careful po kami kasi ito yung malaking free trade area. Kaya taking into account na open na yung market, ang ginawa po namin as far as the agri-products are concerned, ang basically in-improve lang namin or binuksan pa further either through elimination of tariff rates or reduction in tariff rates ay ito pong 33 tariff lines. So just to give you a perspective po, ang total tariff lines ng agriculture ay around 1,928 tariff lines yan. 1,564 agricultural tariff lines walang pagbabago sa taripa compare sa existing na ASEAN Plus 1 FTA. So hindi namin ginalaw. Yung binuksan or in-improve lang namin ay ito pong 33. Yung 33 na agri-tariff lines, 17 pa dyan, raw materials. 8 tariff lines dyan, inputs, at 8 dyan yung final goods. And this is only equivalent to 1.9% of the total agricultural tariff lines. And when it comes to trade, kung nag import nga ba tayo ng mga produkto na itong binuksan namin sa agri, 0.8% lang po ang percentage nito sa total trade. In fact, sa RCEP, meron pa kaming 331 na agricultural tariff lines na sasabihin ko na mas mahigpit pa yung tariff rates namin na binigay compared sa existing na ASEAN plus 1 FTA. In other words, nagluwag ka sa 33, naghigpit ka naman sa 331. Kaya kung tariff rates ang pag-uusapan po dito sa sa RCEP, I would say na yung agriculture po talaga ay well covered, well protected. Kaya nga po sabi namin is that yung mga sensitive talaga sa ating mga farmers like onions, rice, sugar, etc. In-exclude ho namin yon. Dahil alam po namin talaga na hindi ho talaga pwede. Siguradong hindi ho yun papasa. Kaya po, ganun po kaingat ang mga negosyador. Ngayon po, tama naman si Mr. Montemayor na may deficit tayo. I mean, that's the reality. And in fact, we've been checking the records, Your Honor, as to the trade deficit natin. We're just getting the accurate data. But notably, as early as the 60s, deficit in trade in goods has been creeping in. Now, let us examine po kung bakit po tayo may deficit sa agriculture. Ngayon po, pag-uusapan mo ang total importation natin, sa lahat-lahat na ini-import natin, based sa 2018 to 2020 figures na ginather namin. Nag-stop lang kami sa 20 kasi po may pandemic and everything. 87% po ng ini-import natin non-agricultural products. So ito po yung mga industrial goods. Ang agri-products lang po natin na ini-import sa bansa ay 13%. That's around $13.39 billion. So, in other words, as far as trade is concerned, 13%, no, yung ating agriculture products. Now sa deficit, bago natin po sabihin na masama o maganda, hindi naman po kasi outrightly kapag nag-import ka ay masama. As long as yung ini-import mo, ginagamit mo for consumption, like food security, okay yon kasi kailangan mong bigyan ng pagkain ng iyong tao. Okay mag-import kung gagamitin mong input sa farm or for further production. Inanalyze po namin yung data. Sa agri-products from 2018 to 2020, lumalabas po na intermediate products na agri, 62.49% ang ini-import natin. So, ibig sabihin, yung 62.49% na ini-import natin na yan na agricultural products, ginagamit mo yan sa processing or kung anumang proseso sa agri, no? And then yung for consumption natin, that's around 37.48%. So, yung capital goods, 0.0%, maliit. Ngayon po, ang next question, which is very important, ano itong mga produkto na agricultural products na mataas yung importation natin? Unang-una po, sa listahan namin, from 2018 to 2020, cereals. Halos 2.7 billion ata rito ang deficit natin. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ang cereals, maybe Asek Noel, ito yung rice. Kasi malakas po tayo mag-import ng rice. No? So pasok dito yung bigas. Meron dito mga residues and waste from the food industries, prepared animal fodder. Technical description po ito, but maybe Tariff Commission can help us. So ito, ginagamit sa food industries. Pangatlo is miscellaneous edible preparations. So, kuminsan po kasi, usually, even coffee ho, malaki ho ang ating importation ng yung coffee ko, yung yung 3-in-1. Meat and edible meat offal. So, ito po, ginagamit po to sa mga canned goods, pag-process ng mga yung hot dogs, etc. Yun. Dairy produce. So, dairy, wala naman tayong dairy. So, in other words, itong mga agricultural products nito na binanggit ko, dito po deficit tayo. But deficit kasi kailangan natin at wala po tayo dito. Kaya ini-import natin. So that's my reply po dito sa sa submission po ni Mr. Montemayor.
Actually, may I add to that, to our dear colleagues attorney, no? I mean, with the sugar industry also. We support the sugar industry. The sugar industry right now, ang estimated namin na total production for 2023 is 1.9 million metric tons. Ang kailangan ng ating bansa is 2.4 to 2.5 million metric tons. Ibig sabihin, may kakulangan tayo ng mga 500 to 600,000 metric tons because we cannot produce it. Even the last, and you mentioned, my CONFED is there, all the federations, they all agree. CONFED even defended Serafica, SRA's Administrator Serafica, on the need to import. In other words, we need to import to keep the prices low or else talagang shoot up ang Coca-Cola, or walang Coca-Cola and all that. Ibig ko po sabihin, meron po tayong mga industriya ng agrikultura dito na hindi niya kaya na ibigay ang requirement ng ating bansa sa pagkain. We cannot produce it. Admittedly, as much as we want to plant more sugar because of the rainfall, because of the lack of it or the too much of it, we cannot produce what the country needs. Not to mention, we don't have any more areas to produce kasi nakukunan na ng pinya. Sa amin sa Bukidnon, pinya na, bananas, tapos tinitake over pa ng ating mga IP for their ancestral domain, itong mga areas that were formerly leased. So hindi na natatamnan ng agrikultura yan, unfortunately. So may kakulangan, and that is why we have a trade deficit because we need to import or else we cannot feed our people. Diba? That's the gist of it, Asek, right? Am I right on point? I'm just saying on one agricultural industry, we must import or else the prices of commodities pandesal will go up. So okay, klaro yan. Okay.
Yes, that is correct po. Kaya po yung mga in-import nating agri-products, talagang kailangan po natin yon at wala po tayo.
And then maybe to answer number 3, because nakalagay ni kay attorney dyan yung government programs. Particularly in the sugar industry, we passed the SIDA law. The SIDA law is there to increase productivity. We've put 2 billion pesos for farm to market roads. We put 500 million every year yan to improve varieties and to mechanize and all. Meron tayong nagawa in terms of legislation. Implementation siguro ang problema. But legislation, meron tayong government programs. And I think all other industries the same. Yeah, okay.
Madam Chair, may I intervene, ma'am, with respect? In
Attorney-
support, in Siong, ma'am, in support,
Attorney Elias Jose Insyong has
Yes,
been
ma'am.
recognized as the
Raul, with your
Philippine
permission.
Producers Association.
Uh,
Then we go back to Mr. Monteverde.
By way
Attorney
of
Monteverde.
reply to my friend Alan, and also we need to achieve, ma'am, some common realities, some common understanding. Ma'am, kasi sa pananaw namin, hindi kahit kailan naman lalo na nung simula na sumali tayo sa WTO, hindi naman nagkaroon ng protection. Tariffs, whether the WTO rates or the post-WTO, meaning the FTAs, never provided protection. Revenue generation na lang yan as far as the customs. Kasi ang magpo-provide ng tunay na protection, competitiveness. Ang problema kanya tayo hindi naging competitive. Kaya hindi tayo naging competitive. Kaya tayo in the last, kaya po panay ang importation, kaya hindi makapagbigay ang agrikultura ng tamang supply, tamang production. Kasi in dereliction of duty yung NEDA, DA, dun sa pag-i-implement ng overall design ng WTO, yung mga features ng WTO para sa importer, pinatupad yung tarification. And in fact, radical tarification. Kasi sabi ni former Undersecretary Fred Serrano sa amin noon, when he was still with DA, Policy and Planning, we are famous in the WTO on how not to negotiate a trade agreement. Mababa talaga. At maliwanag naman kasi noon ang NEDA Director General, si Secretary Habito, ang consultant ng DA, si Ramon Clarete. These people are famous for being neoliberal economists. They will not deny that. Kaya wala intent to protect from the very beginning. Pagkatapos yung design po kasi ng WTO, tarification, domestic support, which would include subsidies, trade remedies, may mga batas dyan, and sanitary phytosanitary, meaning quarantine. Ang pinatupad lang, ang binigyan ng diin ng DTI, binigyan ng diin ng NEDA, ng DA, ay yung tarification or free trade. Pero yung domestic support, yung AFMA, hindi naman pinatupad. Halimbawa po, yung Section 13. There should be, Section 13 of AFMA, there should be an Agriculture Fisheries Modernization Plan na nakabatay po sa konsultasyon sa sektor. Wala yun Meron kayo makikita dyan, pag hiningi nyo sa kanila, merong on file, pero wala consultations yun. At hindi dun sa yung so-called consultations, hindi kasali yung, kasi dapat doon sa consultations, team effort, andun din ng NEDA, andun ng DTI, Philippine Statistics Authority, para kompleto Pagkatapos hindi rin pinatupad yung sections 38 to 45 ng AFMA, having a national information network para magkaroon ng data and information system so that you can update your plans so that businessmen can make rational decisions based on information. Wala nun, wala. Kanya tuwing nag-hearing dito sa atin at saka sa House tungkol sa pagtaripa and etc. 30% of the time nagdedebate kung ano yung tamang data. Wala Tapos nga, this is very basic. Ito, laging hinihingi in fairness to the previous directors of the Bureau of Animal Industry. Hinihingi yung quarantine, sanitary phytosanitary, inspection facility, and data system. That is the way to intervene against unfair trade and smuggling. In short, even the President recognizes, pinabayaan yung sektor. Kasi ang binigyan ng diin ng mga economic managers, diretsuhin ko na ay import liberalization, free trade. Okay lang naman mag-import kung talagang kulang Kinikilala naman namin. And in fact, hindi naman namin napipigilan Tuwing nakikiusap yung mga importer na babaan yung taripa, yung tariff commission at saka yung Committee on Tariff Related